I wanted to come in today because I know that we all face this at one time in our life or another. Why is it everyone else seems to manifest their desires and the things that they want to have outcomes to, except for me? Why is it, have you ever had this feeling? Right, you're in an office environment and you're working your rump off and you're really putting in the efforts to change your mindset and to hear what your boss is saying, hear what other teams are saying, and to really fall in line and be of value. And then you've got this person who doesn't do as much work, doesn't this, seems kind of caustic in the office and everything else, and they get the promotion or they get the recognition. Right? How? How did that happen? You were putting in all the efforts. You were doing all the things. You were sitting there being mindful. Maybe you took on meditating. Maybe you took on just taking time out and, arranging your day. You've learned the laws of attraction. You've done all of these things. You take all of your mind chatter and you try to make it positive. And nothing still seems to turn out the way you want. Nothing still seems to manifest. It still seems like the mountain you were climbing, you're at the bottom of the hill still, while you're watching everybody else soar up. Climbing, it looks like to you, like they are climbing with no effort. Have you ever had that feeling? Have you ever had that feeling? I have. And it took me years to really, I could manifest, to really bring out things that I started manifesting for myself. For years coaching, years dealing with people, period, just friends, family, people. And if they wanted to manifest something, they could bring it to me. We would create an intention and we would get everything into motion and things would start magnetizing to them. And every single person I sat down with and set an intention, it happened. I'll tell you, a friend of mine, a lawyer in Texas who was at the level where he literally argued at this Texas Supreme Court level. We were sitting for lunch one day. Not a client. He's not a client. He's just a friend. So this is just an example. We were sitting at lunch one day and he was telling me about a case he had. It was an employment law case. And he had a client who had signed on with a sign-on bonus and everything else, signed a offer agreement and everything. It was a high-level position. And he uprooted from another state and moved to Houston for this job. Well, he got here and they rescinded the job. So he was out all this money and they rescinded the job. Right? Shouldn't be legal, right? Technically not, he won his case, but let me tell you, as I was sitting there with my friend Matt, and I said, Matt, what do you need? And I said this because I was curious and I wanted to support him. I said, what do you need to win this case? Because he was talking as though it was kind of an uphill battle. He said, well, we have one hostile witness that we need to turn to our side. I said, okay, got it. So one witness needs to move from being hostile to actually benefiting your client's side. And I said, okay, what do you want out of this? He said $160,000. Now, not knowing to think more or to ask more, I thought that that's what he was going to get. That was his fees he was going to get. So anyway, lo and behold, I'll tell you the outcome. It was probably about a month or so later, he and I had lunch again. I said, so how did that case go? What happened? And he said, well, the hostile witness turned and became beneficial for our client. And our client won. I said, how much did your client win? He said, $160,000. Bam, 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 spot on. I said, well, how much did you get from it? He said, oh, this, and I said, he said, it was a smaller amount, much smaller amount. I said, so next time in the future, I'm going to make sure that I ask what you want out of it too, right? Because we have a habit of that we think of others, and when we think of what the outcome is, what is the outcome our boss wants? What is the outcome that team wants? What is the outcome that our client wants? But we don't stop and think about the outcome we want for ourselves. Now, I'm going to tell you, that is what my little program, 5 Days to Remembering You, is the very first step to. I implore you Today is the day. The challenge starts tomorrow. It's a simple little challenge, but I'm going to tell you, you didn't start out your education in 12th grade or as, in a graduate course in college. No, you started out in kindergarten. And you know what? That's okay. That's great. You got to start out in kindergarten. And that's how I feel about self-awareness and manifesting, getting rid of all of the self-doubt, the mind chatter, the obstacles that are in your way that you use to self-sabotage you. Sometimes we have to go back to kindergarten. We think we know ourselves so well. We think we do. But I can promise you, if you're putting in all the efforts, if you're exploring all of the options, and if you're, applying all of the things that you're reading and seeing, and you're still not getting the results that you want, it comes back to self-awareness. It comes back to you. It comes back to me. And I'm going to tell you, I have a surgical ability to be able to find and pluck out those obstacles, that self-sabotage, those things you say to yourself, those things that you do, the things that you've forgotten about that have become such incorporated habits. They're like brushing your teeth every day or putting on deodorant, right? Every day. You know when you don't put on deodorant, boy, don't you? Especially if you live in the South like me, Houston, Texas. You know the day that you don't do that. You'd know when you don't brush your teeth also. And what does it do? What does it do for the rest of your day? You're thinking about it. Oh my gosh, I forgot to do that. I didn't do that. And I'm going to tell you, manifesting, whether it's manifesting money, which I've got a financial awareness program that's coming up after this 5-day challenge. I've got a making magical mantras, manifesting miracles program. And I really invite you to join that group. I'm going to put the link in the comments, or I'll put it, at the top of this video if it'll let me. But I'm going to put the link to that because that's where the 5-day challenge is going to take place. And this is where I want you to go with me. I want you to trust me, and I want you to go and join my magical mantra making for manifesting miracles group. Sounds woo-woo-y, sounds fluffy and everything else. But honestly, ask yourself again. Ask yourself again. It's just as much of a woo-woo-y statement to say, how come somebody else gets something? How come their life seems to flow better? How come they seem to be getting what they want? It's just as woo-woo-y, and it's just as elusive a statement. So I'm just inviting you to take a step forward for yourself. And I did the 5 days to Remembering You challenge to be a very intimate and private thing. So when you sign up, it's a very small minimal fee, guys. It's $22. And I only did that so that you would start honoring yourself and invest in yourself. It's not $22 to Donna. It's $22 to your future. And you want to know why 22? Because 22 is a magic number for me. Is it really magic? Who knows? It doesn't matter. It's my belief in it. And that's part of manifesting. And I'm coming on strong because I'm telling you guys, I want you to take this journey with me. It's a private little journey you're going to get the videos, you're going to get the training inside your email. And then you'll come into the group, and if you want to share your results, you can share your results. If they're too intimate, you don't have to share them. You can share them with me privately. But I'm going to tell you, at the end of 5 days, we're going to set time aside, each and every one of you. And you're going to have a 50-minute assessment with me. And I'm going to tell you, this is going to be your immediate graduation from kindergarten in self-awareness and manifesting. You're going to graduate in 5 days from being that first day in kindergarten, not knowing what you're going to do, no more eating glue. All of a sudden, you get what the glue is for. That's what you're going to get. Guaranteed. I guarantee you. I promise you this. I guarantee you. If after 5 days of taking 5 days to Remembering You, you don't find out something new about yourself, I'll give you your $22 back. Because I only asked for $22 to give value to yourself. So you'd start honoring yourself. You wouldn't sabotage yourself. You wouldn't do self-sabotage by saying, oh, no, that's silly. I'm not going to do that. That's what we do. Something calls to us and then we just put it aside. And when we put it aside when it calls to us, it's because we're afraid of it. We don't want to face it. We may not feel it. We may not even notice it at that time. You may just, I don't have time for that. Oh, I don't have $22. You have $22. Okay? I'm not getting rich off $22. But I want to make you richer. I want to make you wealthy in mind, body, soul. So the things that you want in your life and you want to manifest. It's the course. When I take you through financial awareness, it's the same principles. We're going to come at it with this same principle. You're going to manifest money you didn't even realize you had. Avenues you had that you didn't even realize you had. You're going to find your abundance in your life. And it's also by finding the deficiencies. Self-awareness has two sides to it. Your truths and the lies you tell yourself. And you get to do it with me in a nice, intimate setting. Safe, confidential, and with a lot of love and compassion for your journey. It is my intent in this lifetime to move every person I can that's ready and willing and wanting to step up and take on their lives to a place of such great self-awareness that your consciousness level of your life, you know exactly what the next move is. You know exactly what's coming. You know exactly how to manifest. And that's my goal. But you know what? Right now, we're just going to start at the beginning. And the beginning is 5 days to remembering you. You can sign up for 5 days to remembering you all day today. Go now and do it now. Don't let yourself procrastinate. Don't let yourself come up with some reason why you can't do this or why it's not worth it. You're worth it. You're worth it. And I can only invite you, but you've got to take that first step. And I'm waiting for you to take that first step. I'm excited for you to take that first step. I'm thrilled when you take that first step. For you. For you. Okay? So anyway, I'm going to end this, but I want to say, I want you to have powerful manifestations in your life. I want the signs and the results to show up in such an outstanding, outrageous way. You never look back and you go, wow, I used to think, just yesterday, a month ago, I used to think this wasn't possible. It's possible. It's very possible. Peace out. And honestly, sign up. 5 days to remembering you. Let's find out one more thing, even if it's just one more thing about the greatness of who you are so that it can stand and live out in the world. Peace out. Bye.